Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. On this episode, of course, we're going to be talking about AEW in Los Angeles. From last night, Dynamite, wild show, a lot of stuff going on. We had a huge return. We had finally the last match in the best of 7, Escalera de la Muerto or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
Hey, look at that. I got it right. Yeah, ladder of death. That's what it was. Nobody died, thankfully, though. So we're going to talk about all that, but also we've got a couple bits of information in wrestling news. That's right. A popular tag team might be finished with AEW officially. But first, I need a saga. What's the saga? I'm not talking about the robot pro wrestler. No, Larson, we're talking about the sale of the century, WWE. What's the latest?
I was hoping you were talking about robot pro wrestling, but yeah, we're talking about WWE being up for sale and the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. Dave Meltzer spoke about the latest developments in that saga. This is what Dave had to say. They being WWE, are not sold. They are up for it. You know, Saudi Arabia is in the hunt. They're one of the companies that's looking for it. The names out there are all in the hunt. Nick Khan was in Los Angeles, went to the football game Monday night, so he wasn't at Raw, and met with some heavy hitters. These heavy hitters went to the college football championship game. Bob Iger, Jimmy Pitaro. So I guess those names will ring some bells. So a brief aside here: Bob Iger runs Disney.
Right. So
Jimmy Pitaro.
Can we get the goofy sound, please?
Ahoy!
Thank you.
And Jimmy Pitaro runs ESPN.
Gotcha.
Dave continues. So they're looking to sell by the middle of the year. JP Morgan is helping them. Saudi would be the one where they're the only one of the key people as far as if they want to go private. That would be the one. The other ones are all public companies. Endeavor is also in the hunt. Endeavor, they own UFC. There will be decision made at some point. There's definitely smoke to the Saudi Arabia story. It's early. It's too early for the deal to be finalized, but that one could happen too.
Yeah. So getting back to the rumor about Saudi Arabia and WWE selling to them, you know, you got to think that I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I would think that, number one, given we mentioned this yesterday, the size of the public investment fund in Saudi Arabia is massive. And if they wanted WWE, they could probably pay a lot more than these other companies would be willing to pay. Their market cap is probably around $6 billion still. I haven't looked at the stock price today. It's probably still around 88, 89 or whatever, unless it tanked. And so you got to think that like WWE is looking to get, I don't know, in the vicinity of $7 or $8 billion. I'm not a financial expert, but I mean, if you look at the history of, you know, how these big acquisitions happen, that's generally sort of, you know, what it is. You take the market cap, you add a couple to it, and there you go.
And there you go.
Well, like the Saudi Arabian government can offer a lot more than that. And they've sort of have a history of overpaying for stuff in general. So I still get the feeling that Vince McMahon really wants it to be the Saudi Arabian government. Maybe he thinks, maybe Nick Khan understands that it'd look fishy if they just did that. You got to do your due diligence and at least, you know, be able to claim that we listen to everybody else. We listen to all the options to make sure the shareholders, their best interests, quote unquote, are being taken care of. Because if they sell outright to the Saudis, people could, shareholders could be like, well, why didn't you talk to ESPN? Why didn't you talk to Disney?
Yeah. What
are the other options out there? So you want to, get some leverage at least. Which is another thing. Like maybe they want to get some leverage for the Saudis. Say, hey, well, Disney's offering us eight bills. What are you going to do? And so, but it honestly seems like, and maybe this is just, the amount of, you and I are somewhat the same in that sometimes we sort of start bracing ourselves for the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So that if it doesn't happen, it's like, oh, well, that's nice.
Exactly.
We want to get our hopes up that they're going to be sold to like a proper company like ESPN.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. WWE stock right now is sitting around $89.
Okay.
Give or take a few cents. This went up to $89.20. I think the only company that has been listed as potential buyers, business suitors, if you will, for WWE, that is even close to the Saudi Arabia private investment fund in terms of available capital would be Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon's a huge company.
They're massive. Yeah, they're huge.
But I don't know of what Amazon's interest level would be, how they would integrate WWE programming into what they offer, where they just put it on Prime. That doesn't seem like it'd make a whole lot of sense.
I mean, Amazon's market cap. Take a guess what Amazon.
It's like $620 billion, isn't it?
$972 billion.
I was a little off.
You know what? It was probably 600 something a couple months ago. These things work like they just go skyrocketing. So yeah, like what you're saying, Amazon probably, and they're incentivized because they have Amazon Prime. They want people to be, and they have recently been diving into the live sports stuff. And, I think that'd be a terrific option. I'll load up Amazon Prime to watch Raw. Sure. Why not?
Sure. Yeah.
Whether or not that would actually happen, who knows? We can hope. We can sit here, but like I'm sort of preparing myself, for Vince McMahon to be in control of creative until the day he dies. Yep. We were blessed with this 6 months of like, normal storytelling.
We got a little glimpse of what it could be with Triple H in charge. And yes, I agree. I'm prepping for the absolute worst.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't come to fruition, then I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But what's the old adage? Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Hope for exactly. Yeah. Wrestling Doomsday. What was that? What was that show called? Doomsday
Prophecy?
No, guys who prepare for like the worst.
Oh, preppers.
Yeah, preppers. Yeah, wasn't there a show called Doomsday Preppers?
Probably.
Yeah, something like that.
I thought you were talking about the Mayan Doomsday Prophecy.
Well, I think that's come and gone, right? Wasn't that supposed to be 2012?
That was that's like 2015 or something like that, wasn't it?
Okay, I thought it was 2012. Yeah,
maybe whatever the year it was, it's come and gone.
All right. Well, yeah, that didn't happen. Y2K didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Anyways, something that also might not happen. FTR continuing to wrestle on AEW television on the latest episode of FTR with Dax Harwood, not Cash Wheeler. Dax
completely disinterested in the podcast thing.
Dax revealed that he and Cash have been granted a leave from AEW, which could extend till their contracts expire in April. These transcripts come to you via Fightful. I also have, he said this, I also have the blessing of Tony Khan to talk about this and make a statement about this. Tony has been nothing but top notch to me and Dan. Cash. Cash is Dan's real name.
Yeah.
Since day one. There are things that we haven't agreed on, and as any boss and any employee, even any friend. There are times that I felt the boat was missed on opportunities for us. There are times that I was super happy with everything we were doing, but there has come a time when we are on the tail end of our career. Right now, at this point in our career, is the most important time in our career. I mean that monetarily, creatively, and personally. It is the most important time in our career. With that being said, we have been asked and been granted the next few months off of television so we could sit back, reflect, decide, let our bodies heal, and figure out what we're going to do for the next few years. Whatever we decide to do next will be the absolute last thing we do as far as wrestling. By April, we will have an answer. I have to take my health, my family, my creativity, and I have to take my personal life all in consideration about what we're going to do next. I know what I want to do, but whatever we do, I just want to be respected. I feel we've done something so special in 2022, and most of that is in part to the fans. We deserve to continue to build our legacy for ourselves, but we also owe it to the fans to build on that legacy because they made us this past year. I'm not sure exactly how long we'll be away. It may be all the way until the end of our contract. Our contract is up in April for WrestleMania, baby. He didn't say the WrestleMania baby thing. That was just me.
No.
Full stop on April, but I'm saying WrestleMania, baby. FTR Mania.
Say yeah.
Say yeah. To the Raw.
We don't know when in April though. Their deals are up. It could be the end of April. It could be April 1st, which is day one of WrestleMania.
April.
We don't know. And then also with the whole WWE being for sale, Vince may be coming back.
God damn it.
You know, there's a lot of thinking, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Dax and Cash will have to do between now and April if they end up staying away from AEW that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be there's the chances there could be a lot of upheaval in the world of WWE coming up over the next few months. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the idea is like, preferably we'd like to go back to WWE, but we don't really want to do it if Vince is there. They might sit out through April and then wait to see how things play out over the summer. I don't know. Depends what they want to do.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I wonder how much. I mean, I think there isn't going to be one blanket approach that these wrestlers who might be free agents are going to take. I think you'll take a look at their individual experiences with Vince McMahon, and a lot of them have had negative experiences with Vince McMahon. But, maybe someone will think, you know what, that was then, this is now. And maybe they'll take meetings, with Vince and say, hey, Vince, remember that thing with the clocks? Are you going to make us clowns? Like, can we get like Cody's got the most complex contract in WWE history, and that was under Vince.
Yeah.
So maybe these guys coming in who had built, more of a legacy outside WWE can come in and be like, hey, we feel like we're a big deal. We're going to have some, we'd like to add to the contracts in WWE. We'd like no clocks around our necks, no clown suits, no more shaving of backs. And I don't know to what degree Cody had creative stuff written in his contract, creative control or the ability to say no to things, which is different than creative control. If you can shoot down ideas, maybe that's an option. I don't know. But I think, hopefully FTR would come into any situation with a bit more leverage than they had leaving WWE.
So, yeah. You'd like to think so. And I guess the possibility exists that they could return to AEW too.
There's a possibility.
Let's imagine that CM Punk patches things up with the Elite. They decide, yes, we'll try to work together going forward now that once Punk is recovered from his triceps injury. Maybe having Phil there is enough of a draw to keep FTR and AEW if that's what they want to do.
Could be. Yeah. No,
I'll tell you what, if Vince McMahon gets back in charge in any capacity in WWE, CM Punk ain't going back there.
Oh, that ain't happening. No, that's not happening. God damn it. Yeah, man, oh man. I just want things to be like, I mean, on one hand, it's good for our business when things are all in upheaval. Obviously, I like the bag as well. But at the same time, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'd sacrifice a bit of the bag if if your best friend Triple H was, I knew he was firmly in charge and WWE was on solid ground and people enjoyed working there. And under Vince McMahon, I just feel, in fact, this weekend, Monday morning, first thing in the morning, we got a new count out going up.
Yes.
And it's the ways that Vince McMahon can ruin WWE now that he's back as executive chairman.
Yeah.
Now that he's back. God damn it. Yeah.
Let's talk AEW.
Yeah.
Pretty solid show from Los Angeles last night.
Los Angeles.
We got a return. Got Adam Cole, baby. Coming out, dropping a promo. Kind of almost pulling a Mark Henry. Almost kind of alluding to, I might have to retire. But he says instead, bad news. It's bad news for the AEW locker room. I'm back. It's really heartfelt, really emotional promo talking about his health issues. The reason he's been gone since Forbidden Door. Talked about having a tore up shoulder, multiple, he says, head injuries. I'd imagine we knew it. We've heard at least one of them was concussion. And the complications that arose because of all that. And it sounded horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it sounded terrible. Like the descriptions he had, waking up in the middle of the night and having to say to Britt Baker, his lady, say, I don't even know what's wrong with me. What's wrong with me? And that sounds like a horrible experience. You and I have had some Twitch experiences with Chugs. I've had some real life experiences with Chugs. Yeah. That one time I went to the Performance Center, you didn't go. And so I don't know why I always phrase it that way.
You always like to bring it up like that.
I don't know why. I regret it. I think it's.
I know you say you feel bad about it, but you always phrase it in a way that it feels like you're kind of sticking it to me.
Oh man, I ain't sticking it to you.
Oh, that's how you phrase it, man.
Well, I just want, for people who don't know, I went to the Performance Center and we decided to leave you at home, I guess.
Well, because we didn't want to miss out on producing content, because this would be like a 3-day trip in the middle of the week or something like that. We're like, well, we don't really wanted to just not produce anything for a couple of days.
Yeah, that was a bad move. Anyways, just a terrific human being. Like, just
yeah,
really
he seems like a really good dude.
Really good dude.
Yeah.
And so, it's one thing if this stuff was happening to like a piece of shit, but like this stuff is happening to like a really good dude. It's like, oh man. And then when he was reading or recounting some of the tweets that he saw, one of them was, I don't care if he wrestles again. I just want him to be okay. And that's really sweet. And that's how we feel about the guy. If all he does is stream on Twitch, as long as he's healthy and happy, that's all we care about.
That's the most important thing, is one's health and happiness.
Yeah. And so, but now he put the locker room on notice. Hopefully he's going to join the Kingdom and go after those trios titles. And man, boom. I'm joking about that last part. That fool.
No, you really want the Kingdom reunion. I can tell.
He's gonna be dragged down by Bennett and
he's
Taven.
gonna lift him up. Someone who didn't show up on
Dark and Elevation, dude.
Gosh, someone who didn't show up on Dynamite last night, Mercedes Moné. I know there was some anticipation from people in advance. Soraya's tag partner was a mystery for a while. A couple weeks back, she revealed Tony Storm was mystery partner. And apart from one boss reference from Britt Baker, I can't really think of a single direct reference in any way to Sasha or Mercedes on TV that I can remember. My memory is garbage, though, so take that with a grain of salt.
No, you're right. Because last night when people were expressing their displeasure at Monet not being there, that's the one thing they pointed to was, Britt Baker said the word boss. Well, and I'll be honest with you, I feel like, the whole setup was just unfortunate. It really was. It was some unfortunate timing. Whenever you have the vacant thing, who will be Soraya's partner, you think it's going to be somebody coming in that's new.
Yeah.
I mean, we have just been conditioned to understand the language of wrestling. That's part of the promotional tactics WWE, obviously before AEW, they were like the thing, and WCW probably did too. I don't know. But like you expect, mystery partner is going to be somebody who's coming in that's new. And so there's that. There is, the reference to the boss, which I think probably they just shouldn't have done. And if you don't do that, I think you have a better case. I just think you have a better case.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess here's something to keep in mind, too. Just because she didn't make her AEW debut last night doesn't mean it's necessarily not going to happen at all.
Yeah, but, the last night was the time. It was like the moment that everybody was sort of expecting. And so I understand the gripes. AEW fumbled this because they had mystery partner, and then they do this weird interview where Soraya's like, it's you, Tony Storm. It's like, okay, cool. And then at that point, I don't know. You and I think both figured, well, maybe she'll show up, but she ain't gonna be wrestling. They might run some sort of angle, and they did that. They ran an angle, but it had to do with Hikaru Shida. By the way, this might be a small gripe, and I don't like being negative about stuff like this, but was it just me, or were there multiple spots missed by TV last night?
Yeah, there was a few.
When Big Bill tried to get into the match at the very end of the Jungle Hook match, and Hook somehow took him out, but we have no idea how because they missed that completely. Yeah. When Shida threw, the reason I bring it up now is because when Shida threw the kendo stick in there, if I'm not mistaken, they missed that. They just went to a shot of her standing there, and the thing was already in there. I watched it last night, and that was my recollection of it. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I blinked for a second, and they showed it.
Yeah,
but that was my recollection.
They showed it replay. They did show her throwing it in.
They showed it in replay? Okay.
I don't recall if they did during live.
There were a couple moments and honestly, I was not trying to nitpick at the show. I was just like, why? Whoa, why did this?
Yeah, there was a couple spots during the main event too where they cameras were late getting into position because they were cutting to something as the camera was moving into position.
And look, I understand, especially with a main event like that, where it's just crazy. It's just nuts, right? I kind of get that might be a bit difficult.
The pace of that main event was nuts. It was absolutely
it really
crazy.
Was.
Snake Twisted here asked, do you think Storm was always a plan, or do you think Mercedes backed out and they scrambled for a replacement?
I would really doubt if she backed out.
I wonder if it's a situation where Tony Khan had the notion of maybe trying to get Mercedes to be Soraya's partner. For whatever reason, it couldn't happen.
Oh, so Chad is claiming they did show it. Okay, that's on me then. That's on me. Okay. Maybe I was stuffing my face.
I remember seeing it, but I remember, whether it was a replay or live, I don't recall. I remember during the replay for sure. There is that Tony Khan was hoping for her to be in the match. Again, I'm guessing since New Japan's paying Mercedes a bunch of money, they want her first match.
Yeah.
And so, I imagine just whatever ideas that Tony Khan had to try to get her to be Saraya's partner. This is speculation. Didn't work out. So once he realized this isn't going to happen, Tony Storm's partner.
I think you're right. I think they were like sort of aiming for a couple different ideas. And I don't know. Look, man, we're not we're new owners of ACW. So we don't know yet how difficult that kind of stuff is.
No.
But I don't know. Between you and I, as owners of ACW, I feel like we probably shouldn't advertise things. It's one thing to advertise something and then something falls apart, but to advertise something that you're still sort of trying to put together and you think it's going to be a big deal, then it'd be like, oh crap, we just have to use Tony Storm here. I don't know. Anyways, so before we dive into the minutia of AEW from last night, let's go ahead and pay some bills. Larson, what do you say?
Let's do it. Let's take a quick break here. Get a word from the sponsor of today's show, DraftKings. Steve?
Yes.
Week 18 of the NFL season. It's in the books, which means the NFL playoff picture is locked in. And I got to tell you, really interested in these first-round NFC matchups because I want to know who's going to face who, Steve?
Yeah, I know who. Your Eagles. I know.
Eagles, yes.
I know. They're doing well this year.
They are number one seed. I want to see who the Eagles are going to face in round 2. And my go-to destination for wild card round action is DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
How are my Patriots doing? I don't think they're doing very well this year. Anyways, listen. To kick off the road to Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Plus, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat bet each day of the wild card round this weekend.
So you're all probably wondering, what is a no-sweat bet? Are you wondering that, Steve?
Yeah. Can you please inform me? Let me know.
I will tell you. Here's what you got to do. You place an NFL bet of your choice, and if it loses, you'll get a free bet back up to $10. It's action. So good. Why bet the NFL playoffs anywhere else?
That's right. If you want to get in on the action, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code RAW. New customers can bet $5 on the NFL and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code RAW. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
All right, you want to jump into it?
Yeah, let's do this real quick, though. We got 479 people watching on the YouTube. Do us a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and the notify bell. Make sure you're always getting your Going In Raw notifications. Twitch chat. Head over to the YouTube and just hit that like button for us. And then you just come back over to Twitch if you like the Twitch. Whatever.
That's right.
Anyways.
That's right. First match of the evening, kicked off the show, Jon Moxley.
Oh boy, it was just all lariats and headbutts.
People hitting people in the head, yeah.
There's a lot of people hitting each other in the head.
Headshot after headshot, taking on Hangman Adam Page. Oh. Yeah, that's the story in a nutshell. Is Mox knowing that Page is coming off a concussion, trying to beat the hell out of Hangman's head, and then Hangman doing the same thing to Mox.
Yeah, I feel like the point of this match was to give the other guy a concussion because after the match, after Hangman Page beat Jon Moxley with the buckshot lariat, Hangman Page didn't know where he was or what had just happened. Sort of, telltale sign.
Mox was.
I'm sorry, Mox. Yeah, Mox was like, "Where am I? What just happened?" Which is like, an in story, anyways, version of what happens in a concussion.
He was doing the thing like I know when Tua got his second concussion this year, his fingers got all rigid.
Yeah, right.
And Mox was doing that after eating the buckshot.
Yeah, so you gotta love Mox, man, putting over Hangman like this, letting him get that one back on him, giving him a concussion. I'm not sure how responsible the story beat is, but it's pretty entertaining, dude.
Maybe Mox will get his vacation finally. Maybe the fishing hole that he wanted to go to several months back is open again or something. I don't know.
That could be. I want to shout out this super chat here real quick on the YouTube. It's a Credence and Bishop show. Says, can Vince just be playing an angle that he wants to sell, but really using it as a distraction for his personal issues in return? No, I think they're trying to sell. I don't think they would hire JP Morgan if he was just fucking with people. But it's Vince, so who knows? He's crazy.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, this match was stellar. This match was really great.
It was really good. Down towards the finish, Mox tries to kick Hangman. Hangman catches it. It's looking for a dead eye. Mox escapes that. Locks on a sleeper. He's looking for a pile driver. Instead, Hangman counters that with a dead eye. Thank you for the raid, Cultaholic. Mox no sells the dead eye. Hits the stomp. They're both down. Ref starts the 10 count. They get to their knees. They're trading forearms. Mox hits a flurry of 3 or 4 headbutts.
Mm-hmm.
Page takes a knee, responds with, like, as he's standing up, a headbutt to Mox.
Mm-hmm.
Then they start slapping the hell out of each other. And then Page hits a huge lariat and follows with a buckshot for the win. And yes, afterwards, Mox acting concussed on the mat. Like, he tackles the ref.
Yeah.
And he's leaning against the ropes, and Doc Samson gets in there. And he's like, what happened?
Where am I? What's going on?
What's going on?
Did he win? Who won?
And Hangman looking a little concerned as he exits the ring.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, it got real. Yeah,
it did.
Man.
It did. It's one thing to say that he wants to concuss Mox, but now that may have actually happened.
Yeah, we went too far. So after the commercial, Excalibur coming back says the Doc Samson walked Mox back to the back. Trainers are attending to him now, putting him through the concussion protocol, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Going to the blue tent like they do in the NFL.
Yeah, there you go. But when we come back from commercial, Tony Schiavone's just chilling in the ring, and he says, you know what? It gives me no pleasure to introduce the following person. Everybody's like, they're all waiting to hear. Mm-hmm. But no, man, probably the greatest theme song hit in AEW. You know, it's all about the boom. Adam Cole, baby. He comes back. Crowd goes. Hell of a crowd last night in LA, by the way.
It was a good crowd, yeah.
That was a solid crowd. So Adam Cole comes back and he says, who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby? He says, man, I've been waiting so long to say that. He says, I've been thinking all day about what exactly I was going to say when I came out here. He says, this is a good news, bad news type situation. Immediately the crowds brace themselves for, oh, man, he's out. Mm-hmm. He says, after everything that's gone on the last few months, I have a whole new appreciation, not just for pro wrestling, but for my life. He says, when I was 9 years old, all I wanted to do was be a professional wrestler. And he says, I've gotten to do some really awesome stuff. He says, one of them being in AEW, the best pro wrestling company on the planet, right here in Los Angeles. He says, it also made me realize how much I miss getting to be here because of that past few months I was really banged up. I had a shoulder that was tore up and I had 2 back-to-back serious head injuries, and I was really scared. I was seeing doctors multiple times a week, getting MRIs done. I was having headaches and dizzy spells multiple times a day. If I was in a car for more than 15 minutes, I would feel like, and sometimes did, vomit. Ugh. He said, but the worst part was the sleep because I would lay there, emotions all over the place. Anxiety was high and I couldn't figure out why. And I was getting up at 3 or 4 in the morning and I'd be pacing. And with my heart racing out of my chest, Britt will wake up and look at me and say, oh my God, are you okay? What's wrong? And I'd look at her with a tear in my eye and say, I don't know what's happening to me. And he's getting real emotional at this point.
He is, yeah.
He says, the thing is, none of you knew what was happening to me either, but so many of you were there for me every single day. I'd read things like, I miss Adam Cole. I hope he's recovering all right. I don't care if he never wrestles again. I just want him to be okay. And that meant the world to me. Real babyface stuff here, Larson. He says, because pro wrestling at the end of the day is a give and take situation. We give you everything we have, the fights of our lives, and in turn, you show us appreciation. I had given you nothing for 6 months and you were still here for me. It's still there for me, and for that, I'm eternally grateful. So thank you. He says, but now for the bad news. Bad news isn't for me, though. It's for the AEW locker room, baby. Everybody goes wild. Mm-hmm. He says, because Adam Cole is back. I'm not going anywhere. My career was over. I thought for sure I was finished, but today I stand before you saying, no way, I ain't done yet. I ain't fucking leaving. Because I've been one of the best damn pro wrestlers on the planet for 15 years, and I will not stop until I am the very best. I've accomplished a lot of amazing things here in AEW, but Adam Cole hasn't even scratched the surface of what he's capable of. I want everyone in this building, I want you to remember this day. This is the day where the new Adam Cole was born, and Adam Cole that will make a promise. One man will be at the top of the mountain here in AEW, and that man's name is Adam Cole, baby. Chugs.
Yeah, that man's name is Chugs.
That man's name is Chugs. Budge.
Yeah, it was great stuff. Heartfelt, emotional.
So where does he go from here, and how likely is it that Adam Cole, baby, will be the guy to take the title off MJF with his return, him being a babyface? You think he's launched himself to the top of the power rankings? Who's at the top of our power rankings for that, by the way?
He's launched himself on the path to get to the top of the power rankings.
All right.
You know, I think right now with this promo, the connection he has with the crowd, he's coming back. People are excited to see him. You got to continue this momentum. You got to get him involved in interesting stories, have him get some wins, push him. So when he does have his feud with MJF, you know, if the timing's right, heck yeah, do it.
Yeah.
People love Adam Cole. Heel, face, doesn't matter.
Oh, man, yeah. I love this, too, because he came in, obviously, as a bad guy, you know, always shoving Tony Schiavone around, but people still loved him because they love Adam Cole, like you just said. Now, as a baby face, you know, he's going to have that crowd so behind him. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to be. I mean, he had a feud with Hangman for the title. He lost both those matches. It'll be very interesting to see where he goes from here. I mean, now that he's a good guy, you could see him feud with guys like Jericho. He needs to be feuding, obviously, with like top of the line guys like Jericho. Maybe like he's a former champion, but maybe, you know, when Mox wraps up with Hangman. I don't know if you'd want to do Cole versus Mox because Mox is really popular as well. Even when Mox
but the crowd was getting behind Hangman last
night.
Oh,
they were, yeah, totally, yeah. Mox has done a really good job of being kind of a piece of shit in this feud with Hangman.
Yeah.
So if we can continue to do this, I don't think it's going to be much of an issue.
No, I don't think so either.
And that'd be a big win for Adam Cole because he does need he needs to beat the top guys.
And yeah, especially if he beats Mox because that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
he has not taken a lot of pinfall losses, so.
They need to have Mox after this Hangman business. Speaking of that match we talked about, so are they going to run this for a third one? Hangman's a little hesitation there.
I mean, I guess they could at Revolution.
Possible.
Have Mox take he could take a month off, 6 weeks off, come back a couple weeks before Revolution, have the third blow-off match there, have Hangman win that one.
He should. He totally
really should. I mean, I imagine they're going to have Hangman collect a bunch of victories to have him challenge MJF maybe over the summer.
Oh, that could be. Yeah, that could be. Big one, over Mox, and then, then lose it to MJF or something.
Then lose to MJF, and then, you know, maybe maybe at Full Gear, you know, because then actually maybe even closer, like Winter is Coming, since we're coming down towards the end of the year, if they really want to still push, the bidding war of 2024, have somebody, you know, whether it's Wardlow, Adam Cole, Hangman even, be the one to save the AEW title from MJF with the idea that he could leave the company with it. Whether he signed an extension to MJF has or not, I mean, I think that's the story they need to go with because it's interesting stuff. They could do that the way WWE should have done CM Punk winning at Money in the Bank, you know?
It's going to be very interesting to see how the WWE situation, the sale of the company, is going to affect MJF's promos for that. Because I'm trying to figure out how the bidding war of 2024 situation would fall flat if, you know, given, you know, like what developments could happen in the sale of WWE that like would preclude MJF from being like, oh yeah, bidding war 2024. I don't know because WWE is still going to be active, you know, signing free agents and whatnot. But if they get this deal done, let's say it's even like early summer. Let's say if there's like a deal in principle that's basically finalized, you know, pending a bunch of legal stuff, but basically it's there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I mean, if they sell to the Saudi Arabian government, I honestly don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know how that would go down. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of sort of unanswered questions about what's going to happen with the Mox Hangman. But yeah, I sort of assume that Revolution is going to be the rubber match there.
Yeah. Next we had an Acclaimed promo. Caster says this Friday they're getting one of the best honors you can get. We're going to be among some of the biggest names in history, names like Roseanne Barr, Alec Baldwin. He looks at Bowens and says, and your guy, Donald Trump. Bowens is like, no.
That was pretty funny. So Daddy asks, what about my boy Johnny Depp? And Bowens is like, what he means is that we're getting stars on the Walk of Fame and our scissors are going to live in concrete forever. So that's terrific. I mean, I understood that like the Walk of Fame, you just need like a lot of money and a good publicist.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that you could do that at the prime. I thought you always had to be like basically like have a long career behind you before you can get one.
I actually don't know the exact criteria. Yeah.
Do you think this is going to be, you think like legitimately they're going to get a Walk of Fame?
No.
A star? No.
No, I don't think so.
Is there like a custom little like plaque you can get like in Hollywood?
Probably.
Yeah,
you could probably go to the
yeah.
gift shops down there and get a plaque that has the thing on there. I mean, I kind of perused the Rampage results, but I didn't see exactly what they said. But I'm just guessing no.
Okay.
I do know the Acclaimed were in the building for Rampage.
Yeah, I do know that. Do you think they went out to like one of the less busy areas of Hollywood where the walk is? Because there's like those things go forever and ever.
They do. They extend quite a ways. Yeah.
They go to like some empty area and they lay down like a fake one.
Could be.
And they're all acting all awkward because they didn't get permits to do it. In LA, you need permits to do that shit.
Yeah. They're all looking around.
Can't be stealing shots. Yeah, exactly.
Trying to steal shots.
Casters all being quiet. It's like when Chase U went to London and they were like just acting super awkward.
Oh, they had to whisper like this everywhere they went. So next up, we had Lee Moriarty and Big Bill.
Big Bill
taking on Hook and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. This match was basically all built up to see Hook hit Big Bill with a T-bone suplex.
Right, exactly, and it was awesome, and the crowd responded in kind. Yeah, it was awesome.
Big Bill's reaction was fantastic.
Yeah, it was
rolling
great.
out of the ring and saying, "What the fuck."
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. Yeah,
that was great. So in the end, though, Jungle Boy gets the win. So Moriarty tries to roll him up with a handful of tights. Jungle Boy kicks out, puts on the snare trap. Big Bill tries to get in the ring. Hook prevents him getting in the ring. We don't know how. Lee taps because you can see Big Bill like in the foreground trying to get in the ring. I'm like, he's not that far away.
You could see like heads, shaking and stuff going on, and I'm like, why is he not getting? Why did they cut away from that?
Why is he not getting in the ring? I don't get this. Yeah.
And honestly, I have not noticed that with AEW too much recently. Like they've been pretty spot on with their TV direction, but this week was a bit weird. After that, we had a really awkward segment with Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. It was an interview with Renee Paquette, and then Paul Walter Hauser
just won a Golden Globe.
But do we know for what? I'm not aware. For what show or movie is my point? I know it's acting. I didn't think he was a screenwriter.
Hold on, I'll find out. I was actually watching.
He's a cinematographer. Cinematography for the Banshees of Inisherin.
He did have a great Robert Duvall shirt on.
That was a really cool Robert Duvall shirt. Blackbird? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
I think that was on Apple.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't watch TV, man.
What are you talking about? Just the other day, you're like, oh, man, I watched all these things this weekend.
I don't watch Apple TV. I don't got it.
Hey, you should check out. Oh, you haven't seen Severance yet.
Yeah, I was nominated for a bunch of stuff.
Oh, that should have won everything. Severance is the best. Severance is the absolute best.
I know White Lotus won for Best Dramatic Series or whatever.
Oh, did it? Okay, that's cool. I heard, you said good things. Lacey said good things about that.
Solid
Man, that beats Severance?
I don't know if they were nominated in the same category. I really wasn't paying that close attention.
I don't know if Severance would be considered a comedy.
No, I think I saw it nominated for some dramatic thing.
Okay. Greg Moore says he's a creepy serial killer. Okay. Dang MQ says he was once considered the next big thing in Hollywood. What? Man, all right. I was gonna do some research into the guy for this, but I didn't, so I was just doing.
You mean you're gonna look at his IMDb profile?
Yeah, that's research. What's wrong with that?
Here, talk about this segment. I'll look up I'll see what his credits are outside of Blackbird.
Do I have to? So he's like, hey, I'm a huge fan of Renee and AEW, and he's got his like box of the Golden Globe in it. He's like, I'm gonna show this off, but I'm gonna wait till Rampage. Is that cool with you guys? And then Danhausen's like, what's in the box? Because I guess he's not paying attention, and he called him Walter Hausen. And he's like, no, my name is Hauser. And he's like, hey, by the way, is everything okay with Best Friends? His acting, I'll be honest with you, for winning Best Actor, his acting in this segment was dog shit.
It wasn't very good.
But it's probably, this is also awkward, like, writing here. He's like, hey, is everything cool with the Best Friends? And then Trent and Chuck step in awkwardly and like, yeah, we're fine. And then they all put their hands in, and Paul Walter Hausen does it too.
Yeah.
Anyways, what do we got, man? Come on, what do we got?
I mean, he's been on some TV. He was on Community. He's been on Always Sunny.
Okay.
I, Tanya. He was in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He was in
Oh, here we go.
He played Richard Jewell in the Richard Jewell movie.
Oh, okay. That's my Leo moment. Okay, that makes sense because I remember when they did the Richard Jewell movie, I was like, why is it they actually got Richard Jewell to play himself? Because the dude looks dead on like that dude who they thought was the bomber of the Olympics thing.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
It all comes together.
Now it all comes
together. Yeah.
Light bulb went off for Steve. Next, we had Konosuke Takeshita. Sorry.
Hey, let me ask you something.
What?
Konosuke Takeshita's render. Why does it look like he's yawning?
I wasn't paying attention. Does it look like he's yawning?
Really? It was like it. I'll text it to you, and then I'll text you.
Is he supposed to be like talking?
I think he's supposed to be shouting.
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
But it looks like he's yawning.
Like that.
Yeah. Go ahead and talk. This match was incredible.
This was a really good match, but it was preceded by a really long MJF promo. So Takeshita makes his entrance. MJF comes to the ring, and he says, "Hey, Konnichiwa, bud. What's up? How's it going?" He says, "Look, I'm not going to lie. People seem to think you're a big deal. Super proud of you, but I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen a lick of your stuff. But hey, don't take it personally. Whenever I watch the shows back, I fast forward the only part of the show that matters, and you're looking at him." He says, "So now, correct me if I'm wrong, but your name is Takeshita. Did I get that right?" MJF's just being super insulting.
Yeah.
So do me a favor.
Yeah, he is.
Do me a favor. Trying to do win the match tonight. I really need you to win this one. And he asks Takeshita understands what he's saying. Takeshita responds in Japanese. MJF says, "Hey, I thought Danielson was a bad public speaker." He says, "Hey, do you think you could pull this off?" And then Takeshita tells MJF to kiss my ass. MJF says, "Who do you think you are talking to me like that?" Tells Aubrey, who's the ref, to get out of the ring. He says, "I've been hearing a rumor that I'm afraid of Danielson, afraid of an Iron Man match that I can't last an hour. Is that right? Well, how about you do me a favor? How about you ask your mama, your sister, your skank girlfriend just how long MJF can last?" This is like MJF when he's not like working with Punk or like in an interesting feud. It's the low-hanging fruit stuff.
He doesn't. Yeah, it's lazy.
It really is.
It's at the very least in bad taste.
Yes.
Even for he's in character, that kind of crap.
I know.
It's like he's much more interesting, like you said, when he's got stuff to work with. Yeah. And here it's like, okay, go out there and be offensive for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Try to get heat.
Be edgy for 5 minutes, and this is what you get.
And it's just longer than 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I'm the real Iron Man of pro wrestling because unlike Danielson, I'm all about pinning show." No, I'm not going to say that line. He says,
I'm not gonna say. Yeah, he just talks a whole lot, man. Let's just get to the point of this fucking thing because it's a lot.
It is a lot.
No, so it ends up Brian Danielson shows up finally, and then MJF just bolts. He just hella runs as fast as he can.
I mean, he was talking shit about some celebrities in the crowd. There was Ken Jeong.
Ken Jeong was there, yeah,
and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah. It was just a lame roast.
Yeah, it was. It was low-hanging fruit, just going out of his way to kind of be offensive, and
yeah,
this wasn't that interesting.
No, it really wasn't. Like, you gotta, I understand that, like, people like MJF and everything, but, like, you gotta give him a little bit more than just go out there and be edgy, Yeah,
this is like me trying to hold my yawn back, huh? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Okay, we're ready to take the picture. We just did. We got to move on.
It's because he has his arms. It's because he has his arms crossed.
Yeah, right. He's like,
if he was doing something else with his hands, like if he's intensity. Yeah, I can see why it looks like he's yawning.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, this match was fantastic. They were beating the hell out of each other.
Oh my god, this match was amazing.
Maggie has it right. Says MJF has two promo settings: intense and passionate, or low-hanging fruit. There's really no in between.
There is no in between. Yeah,
and this was definitely low-hanging fruit.
He either shows up to work or he shows up, to go home. He's like, all right, let's just get this done with.
Yeah. Yep. Anyways, Bryan Danielson ends up getting the win here. Fantastic match. Takeshita is going to be a massive star. He's a spectacular wrestler.
Yeah.
He knows how to sell. He knows how to garner the sympathy of the crowd from his selling.
Mm-hmm.
The pace of his matches are great.
Yeah.
If they can crack an interesting character for him,
that's the thing. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a terrific character. I think he's gonna be a huge star in one of two places: WWE or New Japan. And in WWE, it's going to be exclusively if Triple H is in charge or somebody who knows what they're doing with characters. And then New Japan, because I think that Takeshita should be in a place that has a big spotlight. And New Japan's actually really good at cracking characters. They're really good at it. AEW, they're going to let him just be wrestler guy for as long as he can.
Well, I think they're doing a story with him where Don Callis has been scouting him. Don Callis is at the Bola over the weekend. They shot some stuff there, apparently. Apparently, he's been scouting him on Dark and Elevation. I don't know if that's going to lead to something with Kenny. I don't know if that's going to lead to some sort of a firm grasp on who and what his character is going to be. I don't know. I mean, right now, yeah, he's this really good wrestler guy who puts on, who wins most of his matches except the ones he has against the top tier guys, and he has excellent matches with all the top tier guys. And so maybe just right now the story is he's a really good wrestler who just can't take it to the next level because he can't get past the top tier guys, even though he kind of gives them all some of their best matches.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, if AEW shows that they can get, some interesting character stuff out of him, then yeah, he's going to be a big star. If he sticks around there way too long without them, giving him something to work with beyond, hey, this guy is just a terrific match guy. Time will tell. I hope that wherever he goes, he can crack it, because I think that he can be a massive star.
Yeah.
But so far, I don't really see AEW as the place. AEW is a place, with rare exception, like the Acclaimed is an exception to this. But you go to AEW with your character. Otherwise, I don't know that they're gonna give you much to work with, and they're not entirely patient with people who don't crack that.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. It does seem like Tony Khan is invested in developing Takeshita as, if not a main eventer, a regular piece of AEW going forward.
Sure.
I mean, as soon as he came over from DDT, he was on TV.
Yeah.
They brought him in with a lot of hype, saying this is a huge star from DDT that's coming in to work AEW for a spell. Yeah. So, I hope you're right. I hope that they do put a lot of effort into him, because in terms of in-ring stuff, he's terrific. Brittany here in our Twitch chat points out, and I saw this online as well, MJF. She says, I think he was making fun of the crap people like Disco Inferno say, but it was still cringe. From what I understand, one of the references in there that was, particularly objectionable to some was a Disco Inferno reference. I do not see anything that Disco Inferno says. I don't pay attention to anything Disco Inferno says.
I'm pretty sure I've either muted him or blocked him or something on my Twitter. I just don't have time for that. I've muted so many people on Twitter. Honestly, my Twitter feed is so boring these days. I think it's been my my endeavor over the past couple months is, let me just sort of mute everybody that, like, I'll go to the Going in Raw Twitter for like wrestling news, but I've muted so much wrestling stuff on my own personal Twitter. It's just all like, boring news that space news and
that's not boring.
Politics.
That's fascinating. Did you hear about that black hole that's been, I didn't read the article, I just saw the headline because we were right before we were going to start. The black hole that's been like eating the same star over and over. How was that possible?
It's like eating it and going bleh, and then eating it again.
I guess so. It's like,
oh my gosh,
pooping it out, eating again.
Ew, that's what a dirty black hole that is. You're disgusting. Oh goodness. Speaking of disgusting, Renee Paquette had an interview with Juice Robinson after this. Rock hard, Juice Robinson. Juice says,
Steve's favorite wrestler.
Oh boy. Juice says, you know me for a long time, Renee. You've never known me to be a thumb twiddler. I'm not a complacent kind of guy. I'm here for a few reasons. I'm here to kick ass and take names and win championships along the way. Are there championships on Dark and Elevation?
Just the ones that are on the other shows.
No.
If they're ever on there.
He says, that brings me to Darby Allin. He says, I want to challenge you Friday on Rampage. He says, put that TNT title online this Friday. Let's see if you're as tough as you think you are. Poor Juice Robinson.
Yeah. Then we get Tony Storm and Saraya versus Britt and Jamie Hayter. It's a really fun bout, hard hitting. Tony she just walked out kind of meh. Did you notice that?
A lot of people in chat noticed that as well. And I feel like that's kind of been her demeanor Like, and I don't know. I didn't know if it was like, okay, is this a character thing because she doesn't, the way that she lost the title and then she retroactively was, the interim deal was taken away. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I kind of got that vibe.
Usually she walks out and she poses on the stage and whatnot, and then walks down the ramp. She just walked out and kind of stood there and
would have like a Gresham at the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view vibes. That dude didn't bring his fancy helmet thing.
Nope.
He had his merch shirt on. So, I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe I don't know. So it's a really fun bout. In the end, Jamie pins Tony after hitting her finish, a Rainmaker. Mm-hmm. But not before. So early in the match, Sheeta walks to ringside. Right before commercial break, I recall, and she's just kind of there ringside most of the match. And there's a point where Jamie and Tony are down in the ring.
Yeah.
And so she throws her kendo stick in. Well, Rebel gets on the apron to distract the ref. Britt gets in the ring, gets the kendo, hits Tony with it, and then Jamie follows with her finish to get the win. And then Sheeta's looking on in shock because with the idea she threw it in there so that Tony Storm could use it, not Britt.
Yeah, but Sheeta was also wearing gear that kind of looked like in line with what Britt and Hayter were wearing.
Yeah.
It was all red. It was just a red suit. And they were wearing a lot of red and white. So.
Yeah. And at one point when she did shocked face, Sheeta, she brought her hands up to cover her face like she was shocked. You can almost see like the one corner of her mouth kind of smile a little bit.
I think we know where this is going, man. No, dude, I think you're right. I think that her shock face was sort of a combination of clearly in character faking it and maybe even a little bit of like, oh, I can't hide my glee at how well my plan just worked. Mm-hmm. I love this because Sheeta has been an afterthought for far too long, and to make her a bad guy, I think it'd be awesome. That'd be terrific.
Oh, heck yeah.
Let's get that going. Let's get that going.
Yeah, she's great. After that, we had a Eddie Kingston and Ortiz promo, and it's just them bickering about whether they can trust each other.
This is like equal parts baffling and unintentionally hilarious. Because Eddie just looks at Ortiz like, hey, we got a match on Rampage. You going to trust me now? And Ortiz is like, are you going to try? Am I going to trust you? You going to trust me? And Eddie's like, we got this match. Let's get it done. I'm tired of these dudes. I'm tired of you questioning me. Remember who I am? Remember where we come from? And Ortiz is like, yeah, that's my point. How can you question me? Well, let's do this on Friday. Then you can question. Then we'll got some questions. Yeah. My question is, what do you want to do lunch at?
Yeah, no. Are we hit catering before or after a match?
Yeah. Yeah, God, talk about I don't know what they're doing with Eddie Kingston, man. You got like literally the best talker on the roster. Why isn't he in MJF's spot? I'll be honest with you. I think Eddie Kingston should be the big ratings draw.
I don't disagree. Eddie doesn't do low-hanging fruit.
No, dude, everything he does is like fucking cinematic. It's like a Scorsese movie, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
He's terrific.
Look at my
cat. Look at my cat back there. Who lays like that? Look at that.
Is her lower half hanging off the couch?
No.
Yeah, it looks perilously close, if not.
It's not, but like her head is on that pillow over there.
Yeah, I see that. It must be a wider couch than I recall.
It doesn't. And yet she doesn't look that comfortable.
No, it doesn't look comfortable here at all because from my vantage point, it looks like she just easily slide right off.
She had big hips. She got big birthing hips, man.
All right, fair enough.
Anyways, after that, we had Jericho Appreciation Society promo. Parker says, hey, I'm having a good air day. We all look good. He says, you might as well call LA our town because we're the Saints of Los Angeles.
They have the tearaway pants. They all did a tearaway pants deal before they started talking.
Yeah.
They all had pants underneath their pants.
And then Daddy Magic says, you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard? How about the fact that this man, Jake Hager, powerbomb Ricky Starks through a table? And then Jericho says, you guys can boo us all we want, but this has been one of the biggest weeks in Jericho Appreciation Society history. Just a couple nights ago, we invaded PWG, night of the Bola, night 2 or whatever it was.
Night 2, yeah.
Yeah, the crowd popped big for that. He says the surprise appearance heard around the wrestling world, and on Rampage, Anna and Ty are going to kick Ruby and Willow's ass in a street fight. And Ty's like, I'm the street fight. Jericho says, you are the street fight. That was a pretty funny moment right there.
Yeah, it was.
And then he says, but most importantly of all, Ricky Starks was powerbombed through a table. Action Andrade sent back to the minor leagues. We win again. The Ricky Starks experiment is over. And, of course, that brings out the revolution will be televised.
Yep.
Ricky Starks comes out.
Yeah, and Action Andretti come out to the stage. Ricky says, well, I'm looking at a group of idiots who couldn't get the job done because guess what? Stroke Daddy is standing tall right here, right now. Steve, if you'd like to resume your role as Chris Jericho, have at it.
Yeah, so he says, you might be standing tall, but what about Oliver Twist there? Sir, may I have some more? He said, this orphan, go back to the minors, Andretti.
So Action Andretti tells Jericho to shut the hell up before I come take that bat and shove it up your ass.
Yeah, oof. And then Garcia tells Action Andretti, he says, never disrespect Chris Jericho like that. He says, Action, I didn't know your...
Action Andretti says, I didn't know your babysitter Sammy gave you permission to speak. Are you sure Sammy is a good guy to lead you by example? Sammy can't even keep control over his own wife. Can't even keep control over where his wife's hands go because last week those hands were between my legs.
Well, of course, he's referring to the low blow. It's, and then Daniel... This was funny because Daniel says, I remember when I was like you, when I was young, a pro wrestler like you. And in fact, Action Andretti is a year older than Daniel Garcia. He says, but now I'm a sports entertainer like Jericho. I'm on top of the world.
Then Ricky Starks says, go ahead and put a muzzle on Garcia. Do me a favor, Chris. I want you to move aside. Go ahead and move aside.
So I'm talking to Jericho does. Yeah. He starts moving over so that he can point at Jake Hager.
He says, I'm talking to you, Gilligan, with that stupid hat. You 6'5", dumb purple helmet wearing idiot. You are a top collegiate athlete, and now you're the village idiot. That right there is a shame. Despite being with Jericho, you still got that dumb lisp.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up, isn't it? Come on, man. You can't help the speech impediment.
Nope. He says, next week I want to match with you on Dynamite.
Yeah.
And Hager says, I like this hat, but little Ricky, I wear a lot of hats, and one of them says undefeated MMA fighter. I know you got balls, Ricky. I can see them through your white pants.
That's pretty funny.
So next week, I'm going to slap your face off your face.
Stark says next week you're going to be in the ring with somebody that's absolute. I can see your balls through your white pants.
That was actually pretty funny.
That is pretty funny, yeah.
That was actually a legitimately funny line. Not the jokes about someone's lisp. Not funny.
Yeah, and then I the line, hey, your wife's hands are between my legs. I know it's I can see her balls through my oh man.
And then we had our main event, the Elite versus Death Triangle. It wasn't worth writing down every spot because the pace of this match was absolutely insane. It's like they had 5 minutes cut from it. And they're like, all right, we're gonna get everything in.
I would love to know.
Full speed ahead.
I would love to know, like. Do they don't call this shit in the ring, right? Like some of this stuff is so fucking complex.
No, they gotta lay this all out.
Yeah, like spot to spot, and then you do this, but then you reverse this into this crazy shit.
Well, have you ever seen, because a few years ago, Rolling Stone did a thing on the Young Bucks back when they were in Ring of Honor, and they actually have like followed around with cameras and stuff. And there's a bit of video in there. It was a Ring of Honor match against Lij.
Lij, yeah, and you see Matt Jackson and Naito, and
going over the
he's like, and then you do this, and then we do this. And it's crazy to see like the hand movement. You go, okay, and then you do this, and I'm like, how do you get that from this dude doing, and then you do this?
Well, what seems mind-boggling to me is that so during the show, you're back there, you're laying out your match,
yeah,
and then you have to go out there, remember everything,
right,
over the course of 15 minutes.
I know,
that's crazy.
No, it's nuts. It's crazy. It's like being a waiter. You got to remember all that shit. I can never be a waiter. I'd be sitting there, okay, what do you want? Have you ever get freaked out when a waiter just comes over, they have no pad of paper?
And they don't write anything down, yeah.
They don't write anything down?
Because I'm trying to transcribe these promos, and so I'll do it kind of sentence by sentence, and half the time I'm like, oh, fuck, what did he say? I can't remember one sentence.
Right. I'm like, okay, I have a pretty complex order here. You probably want to write this down. But then they remember everything if they're good. Yeah. Most of the time they are, man.
Yeah, no. I know. So anyway, this match was crazy. A lot of madness going on. I don't even know where to get in here. Oh, at one point, Alex,
just get to the one-winged angel off the ladder. Oh my god!
Yeah, that was nuts. So at one point, there's a ladder set up in the ring to claim the titles, and then the Lucha Brothers bridge a ladder between the top rope or over the top rope and one of the rungs of the ladder that's set up to climb.
Mm-hmm.
And then Penta hits. Let me find it.
It's the package. The package.
Yes, the Fear Factor. I'm trying to remember on who it was.
It was on Matt.
Yeah, I think you're right. The only thing I didn't like about this match is it should have had a lot more hammer.
Yeah, they sort of dropped the hammer thing. Was there any hammer in this match?
Yeah, Pac had
There
the hammer
was?
hit Kenny in the hand with it.
Okay, all right.
That was it.
All right.
That was it. So after that Fear Factor spot on Matt, Phoenix climbing one side, Kenny's on the other. They're brawling on the ladder a little bit. That leads to Kenny hitting a one-winged angel onto that ladder that's bridged. So when Kenny lands from that, Pac's looking for a black arrow. Kenny gets his knees up. He climbs and gets the titles. The Elite win. Da 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 da.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of crazy spots. We can go through them, but just if you want to see all the crazy spots for yourself, rather than just have us describe and go watch the match.
Yeah, dude, this is just one of those crazy matches.
It wasn't the best match of the best of 7, but it was solid nonetheless.
We talked about this a little bit in the pre-show. Let's just talk really quick before we get to questions. Who do you think the next defense for the trios title for the Elite is going to be?
Well, obviously Adam Cole and the Kingdom.
Oh, Lord, he needs to run away from them. I want to see like backstage vignettes of like Bennett like walking around and Adam Cole just like.
He's walking backstage. He sees Mike Bennett walk toward him. He stops, turns around, and walks the opposite way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Adam Cole wears some like Groucho Marx glasses and the nose and the mustache thing, and he's like, "Adam, is that you?" No.
My name's Cole Adams. That's my name.
My name's Chugs. I'm Chugs. It's like, yeah, Chugs is your Twitch name. Oh shit.
No.
I'm Jim Chugs.
Jim Chugs. Twitch, what's that?
What's Twitch? You got some sort of tick?
House of Black should beat the Elite for those trios titles.
Yeah, but
that won't happen for a little bit.
Double or nothing or something like that. Or
yeah.
May is good. 4 months is good.
May is good.
House of Black. But in the meantime, who are they going
to easy wins?
Man, I don't want to see the Factory versus the Elite at fucking Revolution.
You mentioned best friends in our pre-show. I suppose you could do LFI.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, that's not bad. That's
you do
good.
Butcher and Blade and Roosh, or Butcher and Blade and Preston Vance, or
bring Andrade back. Andrade, Roosh, and Pero, Preston Vance.
Yeah.
The dog guy, him. Yeah, it's funny because like the tag team division got decimated because of the trios division, but now I'm trying to think who's even in the trios division.
You could do Top Flight and AR Fox.
About FTR and CM Punk.
I mean, maybe.
Hey, that'd be money.
You want to make some money? That's the way to do it.
Ooh, Jesse here in chat says the United Empire.
That'd be good
Today. Oh man.
Mogul Affiliates.
Oh, Jericho Appreciation. Oh, Mogul Affiliates. Yeah, Jericho Appreciation. That's a good one. That's good.
So there's plenty of teams.
I like this.
House of Torture says White Brownie. There you go.
Yeah, that's good. My name is not Earl says they've been building Brian Cage, so his group.
Did you see that he had a match against Willie Mack at these tapings?
I saw Illy Mack did a thing in AEW. That's cool. I like Willie Mack. He's cool. A Radish here says, did you see the Instagram post from Andrade and Conrad? I did not. What was that about?
I think it was another one. If it's the one he's talking about, it was a picture of the mask he was wearing in like his luggage with it open, and it just said "buy" again.
Oh, okay. Is Conrad finally restarting Jim Crockett Promotions as a real thing?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's get that done. Who booked this? Oh, that's right, I did. And then Death Triangle. You think they're going to break up?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, the Hammer's going to come between them.
Yeah, Hammer's going to break them up. That's good. All right, let's go.
Pac's all in on Hammer. Phoenix is like, I don't know if I like Hammer. Penta kind of likes Hammer.
Listen, the bastard has found a new passion. Hammer.
Yeah.
I love
You want to answer
hammer.
some questions?
I do romantic things to it.
Oh, my goodness.
CatDad7 here on the Patreon, patreon.com/Stephen Larson. We always got these questions threads for recaps. CatDad Steven 7 says, CatDad Steven. How bricked up do you think Tony Khan is hearing that talent might walk out if WWE is sold to Saudi Arabia? Oh, man. Licking his lips. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Generico. Yeah. Steen.
I know.
I don't know who else. Other people, I guess.
El Generico.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Nick Kyle says, Power Rank Dream Matches in AEW you want to see Adam Cole Bebe have.
QT Marshall.
Mike Bennett.
There we go.
Matt Taven. No, some of the heavier hitters like Jericho.
Kenny. It was Adam Cole and Kenny.
Jericho. Kenny. Mox.
Pac.
All those dudes. Yeah. Pac, that's a good one. Cero Muro.
Jaime Fonseca says 3 companies, buy one, sell 2, put out of business the other one, I guess.
Buy one, sell 2.
Buy one.
Okay.
And then, so it's Del Taco, the Kings, Jim Ross barbecue sauce. Which one do you buy? Which one do you sell? And which one do you put out of business?
Sorry, man. Sorry, JR. I got bad news. Your barbecue sauce out of business.
Yep.
You know, there's plenty of other barbecue sauces you can use. How about Jim Ross he's gonna go out of business and barbecue. He's gonna start up OnlyFans. That's right. Oh man. Buy one. I'd love to own an NBA franchise. That sounds thrilling.
That could be fun.
We'd be like the Maloofs though, man.
I wouldn't want to get in the restaurant business in any way.
No. I'd sell 2. Does that mean sell going in raw to Del Taco?
I guess so.
I'd be owned by Del Taco. That'd be rad.
Cool. And then we take that money and buy the Kings.
Yeah, that would make us so much money.
0.5% interest, yes.
Yeah. My niece is gonna. So that's where I went. I went with T, and she says, "Hey," she said, "I'm gonna ask my mom because my sister's a bit of a baller. So like, I'm gonna ask her to get us some front row tickets for my college graduation because she's graduating college early." And I'm like, "Those things are so expensive." She's like, "I know. We need to find a really bad team so that we know we're gonna get a win."
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the tickets might be cheaper because they got that dynamic pricing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So Blake Whitehouse says, do you think Tony Khan will treat Ring of Honor and Dynamite like SmackDown and Raw, or will it be like WWE and NXT? Oh, it'll be like WWE and NXT. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Ring of Honor will be their developmental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wizard of Smoke says Kenny Omega is action figure jacked. Who's the current most jacked wrestler?
Oh man. Brian Cage is always looking like an action figure.
Yeah, he's humongous.
That dude is jacked.
Yeah, he is.
But there's got to be somebody else.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Brian Cage is the first name that popped in my head too.
Yes, his first name. Yeah, he always looks huge, and what he can do while having that much muscle on him.
Oh,
it's
John
pretty
Thon
nuts.
says Buddy Murphy. That's a good answer too.
He's jacked.
Buddy
Lashley's jacked.
Enormous. Yeah.
He-Dub says Giovanni Vici. Shane
Brittany
Mercer
says Jordan Grace. Yeah,
she's
Jordan
jacked.
Grace is jacked.
She's jacked. Oh man, Bree Marie just gifted 5 subs to our Twitch channel. Thank you so much, Bree. That was nice. If you got a gifted sub from Bree, give her a thanks. Maybe think about paying it forward. Pac's always jacked.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Cameron Bortolazzo says, is Jungle Hook the best tag name out there? I see people crapping on it. I think it's great. Sounds like Jungle Book.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine.
No, it's clever. Come on. Jungle Book, Jungle Hook.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a little bit better than fine, isn't it?
No, it's fine.
Come on, say it's better than fine.
It's fine.
It's better than fine.
It's fine.
Name a better tag team name. You know what bugs me?
War Joe.
That's terrible. That's awful. Word show. You know what kind of bugs me a little bit is that you got House of Black, but then you got Kings of the Black Throne.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just call the tag team House of Black?
Because the House of Black is the full stable.
You don't need you don't need both names. It's confusing. What if I'm new and I'm like, wait, House of the Black Throne? I thought they
you
were
pay
House of
attention
Black.
for a couple episodes and you catch on.
Bro, nobody pays attention to anything these days. Come on. It's their job to ensure people can enjoy it without paying attention.
Man, it's Brody and Malachi's opportunity to brand themselves, to make some money as one unit, and then the House of Black as a separate thing.
Nah, man, not into it. What is actually a good tag team name these days? FTR is a bad name because we never even knew what it was.
I have no idea what it means. Motor City Machine Guns is a pretty cool
That
tag
is the
team
best name. No, you're 100% right.
That's a pretty cool
That is
tag
a
team
fucking
name.
awesome name. Motor City Machine Guns.
And they always let you know where they're from.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
No, that's a great name. Daniel Adado says, if the Saudi deal becomes the PR nightmare everybody thinks it'll be, will AEW and Ring of Honor have a better chance of getting deals with bigger networks like NBC, Fox, Paramount? I hope that that's the goal of theirs, because right now Warner Brothers Discovery is a mess.
You got that right. Mr. Dope here for mentions for tag team names. Hurt Business.
Oh,
what a
Hurt
great
Business.
What a great name.
Hurt Business that is.
It's a fantastic name.
Yeah.
Peter Lewins, where do you see Adam Cole fitting back into the roster? I'd like to see him go up against Darby and challenge for win the TNT title. After all, let's not forget TNT goes
boom.
Boom.
Yeah, Darby needs to drop it to a bad guy first. That's one matchup you don't want to have to let the fans decide.
Yeah.
Have Darby, have Miro come back, take it off Darby. Adam Cole beats Miro.
That all sounds fine, but I want Miro losing. Apparently, he doesn't want to
Neither
lose.
Neither does Miro. David Matushek says, do you think that Carry On My Wayward Son?
I'm tired of that song.
Me too. Will continue to be the Elite's theme song going forward? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it seems like it. Crane Pool, do you think Adam Cole might team up with Silver and Reynolds? That was a running gag on the BTE, and they just revived the recruiting gimmick. No.
If he has any desire to be at the top of the mountain, those guys are firmly at the bottom. Like, you don't
budge. No budge.
No budge. You don't want to associate with them. Sup John says, should AEW start doing more three-way feuds to incorporate more wrestlers into the show? Yeah, but they need to like sort of make these things go longer. Like, I thought the Wardlow Hobbs Joe thing was really cool. And then they like they do, they just drop things.
I know. Frozen Tape, if Tony Khan were to purchase WWE, how different would Raw and SmackDown be compared to now?
Oh, a lot. His storytelling philosophy is way different.
Yes.
Than Triple H's and even Vince McMahon's. Yeah. Steve Klain says, did you see the old Shaq shoes the Young Bucks were sporting? Oh, is that what those were? Yeah, that's great.
Shaqnosis.
I did.
Did you ever own any '90s era basketball shoes? Heck yeah, I had some Jordans. I had some Nike Flights.
I'm making up for it now. I've got some Jordan Flights. They were supposed to come yesterday because they're like they're fives and they're purple white, but they've got purple trim on them.
Yeah,
and I was going to wear them to the Kings game. So I got to get another, more tickets to more Kings games so I could wear these shoes to Kings games.
I used to have some Jordan 5s when I was young.
See, when I was young, never had that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like one line my parents would cross. And, it was a military family. It's not we had like a lot of money, but, they'd get me all the toys I wanted.
Yeah.
For the most part. But like shoes, it was like, nah, I'm looking at 35 as my budget.
Yeah.
On shoes. Yeah. And back then, Jordan's for like a 12-year-old is like $85 or something.
Yeah, it's $85 or $100. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah. Tokane, what was the biggest rumor that you wholeheartedly believed in but turned out to be fake? Hardy's joining DX.
Yeah. I think for me, I believe that DDP was going to join Wolfpack. I think because they said it happened at house shows.
Yeah.
DDP joining the Wolfpack. I wish you and I need to do a whole fucking thing on like rumors that people had heard over the years. Yeah. And we'll like look at them and talk about them because some are probably hilarious.
Yeah. Luis Ariza asks, who are some of the most notable locker room cancers in wrestling history?
Well, I don't know about locker room cancers, but like the Steiners used to do fucked up things to people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they would do a prank, but it would go way too far.
Make the case Hogan. Just made everything about himself.
Yeah, maybe. But I feel like Hogan was probably cool to your face. It was just he would go behind your back a lot.
That seems to be the case.
I don't know if he'd bring down morale necessarily.
I don't know about it, like whether he would personally, directly, but I think overall, if you hear people talk about WCW when he was on top,
yeah,
and how the morale wasn't great because, you're in the mid card, you're kind of stuck in the mid card.
Yeah. HBK.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you remember the Click. If you remember the Click, man. But yeah, no, the Click in general. Yeah, my name is not Earl. Says the Click. That's a good one.
Yeah.
JBL probably.
Yeah. Gosh. Brandon Monroe, if you were to bring a Money in the Bank like prop for AEW for them to cash in anytime, what would you choose? They already have that.
Poker chip. I got the poker chip.
Giant poker chip.
That needs to be something different. I would do, that's what it'd be cool to do. Like ACW, they've had the, before we owned it, they had the Ace of ACW, which I really like. It'd be cool if we can get an actual title for that, as opposed to a trophy.
You know what they should do with the poker chip is just make it an actual poker chip, like have the giant one, whatever, to win, because it's more dramatic when you pull the giant poker chip.
Sure, yeah.
When you carry it, it's just an actual poker chip. I just don't know.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Flipping around the poker
and
chip,
then when
someone up there, someone having to hug it because it's so huge.
And then you do the cool thing where it's like, I'm cashing in, and then it goes.
Yep.
Yeah. It'd be cool if it was like gold plated or something,
Yeah. Make it look nice.
Make it look like it's gold, but in actuality, it's just gold plated.
Yeah.
It's like
not even that.
Yeah. Spray painted gold.
Mystery metal.
Radioactive mystery metal.
Yes.
It's like
isotope.
I want to cash in, but goddamn, I feel like crap right now. It's like, oh my God.
Let me see your hands. Oh my gosh.
You're bleeding out of your ears.
You have radiation sickness.
You're bleeding out of your ears. Why do you look so pale? I need to cash in.
Gotta cash in now, though. I'm done with this chip, at least.
They ring the bell. You just collapse. It's like Chernobyl. Oh man, you ever see that show? You watch the Chernobyl show?
No, I haven't seen that before. Heard it's good.
It's horrifying. My God. Oh, it's horrifying. All these people melting and shit. Anyways.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's horrible. Anyways,
that's horrible.
That is horrible. That's gonna do it for the show today on that one. I'm gonna clip that and put that on best of somehow.
There you go.
Radioactive chip. That's going to do it, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. I'll make sure I got some we didn't get more super chats, right? Okay, we did. We missed a couple yesterday, and I feel bad about it.
Oh, yeah. Apologies.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Until next. Smash Zone tonight. Also, by the way, I wanted to mention this as well. At 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern today, Larson and I are going to do, we're bringing Overrun back for the patrons, $5 and up, YouTube channel members. Click join if you want in on this. We're going to be doing our first retro review of the year on Overrun. We're going to be taking a look at the very first episode of WCW Nitro. So that should be a lot of fun. I will probably end up putting it on the channel in like a couple weeks or something, because I'm anxious for people to get that. Yeah. But you guys will have the exclusive window for at least a couple weeks on that. So that'll be going down today at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.